too dangerous. Definitely not this one.
You don't have to say definitely like that. Holy shit! There are arrows more dangerous than that one?
Greetings, sir. This may concern Christian Aguilar here, back with another series review, and in today's series review I'm going to be reviewing the final episode of Marvel's Hawkeye. Fair warning, I will be going into spoiler territory, so be warned now. I have a list of things to talk about, and it's in the order as I saw them. So I will be going over some of the spoilers and things that happened in this episode. So go and watch it, then come back and finish watching this review. Did you see it? Did you watch it? Okay, good. Let's continue. First things first, right off the bat, Kingpin. Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin. For this episode to just start off with a conversation scene between Eleanor, Kate's mom, and Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin. Oh man, it just feels right seeing Vincent D'Onofrio in Wilson Fisk's shoes up on our television screens, and hopefully soon up on the big screen. He is perfect for the character. I love his portrayal, like many of us in the Daredevil series. Just top-notch, perfect portrayal of a supervillain. Probably the one of those castings where it's like right from the page onto the screen. So when I saw him on my television screen again, and it wasn't for Daredevil and it was something new, I was just geeking out so bad, so hard. I thought I was gonna have a heart attack. I need to calm down. I need to relax. But to see him back in action and now in a more authentic getup, he's now in his white outfit. We did see that, I believe, at the towards the end of season 3 of Daredevil, but we really get to see the full Kingpin getup in this episode, along with his cane that has a little diamond on top. It's just a very nice touch for him to be holding and swinging around, and it's really cool to see up on our screens. It's just really epic. I am so curious if any of the events that happened in the Daredevil series still occurred to this character. Is this the exact same version of Kingpin that we saw in the series, or is this like this universe's Kingpin, you know? It is also crazy to figure out that Eleanor, Kate's mom, was the one to hire the assassin in the first place to kill that Armand dude in the beginning of the season, and then also to frame her fiance, Jack, the swordsman, for the whole killings and everything. For her to be behind all the scheming and to find out that she's really getting her hands dirty, it's pretty crazy. And it's crazy for Kate to figure out this revelation as well. And you really feel bad for Kate, you know? You feel like she's basically an orphan now, knowing that her mom is basically the antagonist of the series. I love seeing Clint and Kate craft all the trick arrows. Like, Clint knows how to craft his own arrows, of course. So to see a little montage of them coming together and crafting all those trick arrows was really, really cool to see, and really funny to know, like, oh my god, you craft your own arrows? Let's craft some more, you know? So just like gearing up for the big fight, and I just like that little montage scene. And at the end of this montage scene, I also like how they have this little hero talk back and forth. Kate says to Clint, like, oh, you know, you showed me that being a hero doesn't mean you have to have, like, fly, or you have to, like, shoot beams out of your hands. It's doing what's right no matter the risk, you know, being brave enough and having the courage to do what's right no matter the risk. That's what being a hero is. So I love how they had that talk with each other, and that was basically kind of them like passing the mantle on to her. Essentially, like, yeah, you are now a hero, and I trust you now as my partner. And I also like how he said, you're my partner, your problems are my problems, and he's not leaving until they're all resolved. It makes me super excited for this dynamic going forward into the MCU, and it will be really exciting to see them, of course, team up with the rest of the Avengers. And of course, when they were having this little discussion back and forth, the musical score that was playing gave me a bit of Ultimate Alliance vibes. If old school Marvel fans, if you played Ultimate Alliance on the PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2 actually, the first one was on, second one was on PlayStation 3. If you played either of those Ultimate Alliance games, the soundtrack, that heroic, triumphant, kind of patriotic music that plays, kind of somber, you know, but yet inspirational. Like, that type of music was playing behind this, and it just sounded like the Ultimate Alliance soundtrack, and I thought that was really cool. I also find it funny how at the formal gathering they took time to give Gary a shout out and a mention, you know, the guy that from the first episode that Kate made up the name for, and he magically happen to exist. So I like that little mention, like, oh, he fired me from my first job. So that was pretty funny. You know, seeing that character Kazi snipe from the other building, I just couldn't help but realize how shitty of a sniper he was. He's like, oh, we got both the girl and Hawkeye in the same area. Christmas came early. Dude, Christmas didn't come early if you can't shoot one of them, you know? His aim was really terrible, and it makes me question who the hell made the decision to give him the rifle. I also found it really hilarious when Kate and Yelena were both in the elevator. Kate was trying to slow her down to prevent her from reaching Clint, and I found it really hilarious, their little banter going on back and forth. And it's funny because it's like Yelena doesn't want to hurt Kate, you know? If she really wanted to kill her, she would, you know? She would really hurt her. But it just seems like they're a very like friendly duo, but they're again under wrong circumstances. If they were under different circumstances, they would be friends for sure. So seeing that dynamic is really awesome, and it's really unique. I haven't really seen that in the MCU so far, so keep it up. I love these new dynamics. It's pretty fun to watch on screen. And then of course that leads into their fight in that like apartment building, them going through room to room, just fighting each other back and forth. And I kind of love how they kind of keep it flat, you know, and the camera looks like it's on a track and it's just slowly panning all the way over to from right to left. And it just screams Oldboy. Have you ever seen the movie Oldboy, the original one? There's a long hallway fight scene all done in one take, and it's all slowly panning from left to right. So just seeing that fight between Kate and Yelena throughout the apartment building, I found that to be very cool, very entertaining, and I couldn't help but think about Oldboy when I was watching it, so I'm pretty sure that was an inspiration. I also found it pretty hilarious how Kate was interacting with one of the henchmen about his relationship. He was mentioning how, oh, you know, your advice that you gave me about my girlfriend, just opening up and talking to her, that worked, and we were honest with each other, and we ended up seeing Maroon 5 over I think it was Imagine Dragons or something. So again, I love these little comedic moments that get a callback in this final episode. It's just very funny and a nice little touch. And it was also pretty sick to see the swordsman and Kate kind of team up a little bit. You see him kind of like in his prime right now. He's just like letting loose. So I love seeing the swordsman in action. I love how in the beginning of this season I thought we would see him fight Kate, but that's not the case here, you know, and that was one of the possibilities I brought up too in one of my earlier reviews. I think it was probably episode 1 or 2. I was wondering if the swordsman was going to be the actual antagonist of this series, or if there was going to be some kind of twist. And here we are on the final episode. We figure out that it was her mother that set everything up. So again, it was pretty cool to see them kind of team up for a little bit, back to back, take out some dudes. And it's one of those unexpected villain twists that Marvel likes to do. You suspect one type of villain to be like evil, but then they flip it on its head and be like, no, they were actually innocent. Kind of like what they did with the Skrulls in Captain Marvel. Very interesting twist, because to me the Skrulls were always evil when reading the comics or watching the cartoons. But I like how they did it to the swordsman. It came off pretty charming in this final episode. Despite me enjoying everything so far, I did find it hilarious how Kate just stupidly knocked down the tree in the Rockefeller Plaza. It's just like she had no consideration for anyone around her, like if there was any bystanders around, you know. I just felt like that was just like the fastest and laziest way to get them both in the same space as quick as possible, because they needed to get this final team up showdown with them back to back going. And that scene is awesome. I love how she slides in on the ice shooting guys while she's sliding in. Legolas vibes for sure from Two Towers. Towards the end of the Battle of the Helm's Deep, where he's sliding down the stairs and he's going at orcs with his arrows. Same vibes here with Haley Steinfeld sliding on the ice and shooting guys with the bow and arrow. Despite the way they get them together, I do like when they eventually team up and they're, you know, back to back, and it's just a very badass and epic moment to see play out. I also do love the use of the Pim Arrows, the Pim particles that they implement into their arrows. I love how they can enlarge stuff and then they can shrink stuff down. I forgot to mention this in my previous episode review on the one where they enlarged the arrow to blow up the truck on the bridge. I was just geeking out when I saw that at first, and there was just so much to talk about that I totally slipped on mentioning that in that episode review. But I'm mentioning it now because they bring it back at the final episode. Instead of enlarging something, they shrink a truck that's coming right at them, and I thought that was really cool and really badass and really hilarious, because he's like, oh, I gotta talk to Scott to see how I can re-enlarge them, you know. And it makes me wonder if Hawkeye Kate or Clint might show up in Ant-Man 3. That'd be pretty cool. And of course, the moment a lot of Yelena and Clint fans have been waiting for, the time where they finally meet face to face and they can have the discussion on what really happened to Natasha during the events of Endgame. I love the whole conflict that Marvel was building up. The whole misunderstanding of what actually happened, and one character actually knowing the truth, and of course us, the audience members, knowing both sides of the coin and just waiting to see them both eventually meet up. And this is the episode where they finally do, and it was nice. It was some great closure. I felt like it was a little long-winded, like either she would have killed him already or he would have convinced her by now. Like one of the two would have happened way sooner, but they had to stretch it out and to really, fit the runtime, I guess. But regardless of how it was paced out, it was fulfilling to see these two characters finally meet face to face, exchange some dialogue, and give some closure to each other. And it makes me wonder if they're gonna ever team up and maybe fight side by side together in a future movie, maybe Black Widow 2 or an Avengers movie. Regardless, it'll be very interesting. And now we come to the moment where I think my jaw was just dropped because of how epic this scene was. I did not expect Kate to go up against 1v1 Kingpin. Kate versus Kingpin? Kate Bishop versus Kingpin. Oh my goodness, that was a match I just did not know I needed. And of course, as Kate is going up against Kingpin, this is when Yelena and Clint are going at each other. And when Echo is fighting her previous partner, Kazi, he's turning on her and they end up fighting each other. And that, I feel like, builds up her solo series. I believe she's still getting her solo series, Echo. So I love how they kind of turned her into this anti-hero by the end of this episode. But going back to Kate and Kingpin, man, it was just really cool to see Kate just stand up to Kingpin. It was just so cool to see her use every trick arrow in the book, almost. She tries to, until he grabs her and just flings her around like nothing, like she's just a rag doll. It's just insane to know that Kate can take so much. She went toe to toe with Kingpin. I thought we would see Spider-Man or Daredevil go toe to toe with Kingpin before anyone else, but I cannot believe it was Kate Bishop, and that was just so awesome. And in this fight, man, Kingpin takes so much damage. We see him take an arrow to the chest, a car crash, an explosion. He just takes so much, and the dude still walks away. He gets up and walks away, which makes me think this dude ain't dead. I know what happens at the end of this. They show him getting shot in the head by Echo. If that's the case and he's really dead, that's a stupid decision. That was a really, really dumb decision on Marvel's part. Whoever decided to kill him off this early is an idiot, to put it lightly. I'm sorry, but you don't do that. You don't have a great actor, a great character, and a great universe set up for greatness, and you just kill him off. It makes no sense. So that's why I highly believe that he is not dead. People are probably meant to think he is, but he's going to come back. He's going to come back 100% stronger, badder than ever, because we saw him take an explosion. Again, he took a lot during that fight, so just one simple bullet to the head I don't think would really do much to him. He's probably going to come back in the Echo series. We might see Matt Murdock, Charlie Cox's Matt Murdock, in the Echo series. That is a big possibility. I would not rule that out. Despite all that being left up in the air, I do love the closure we get with Clint and Kate. Sadly, Kate's mother gets incarcerated at the end of it, and I found that a really interesting and unique superhero dynamic, where you have the hero lock up the villain at the end, but it's the mother. And she's even said, you're not going to lock up your mom on the holidays. And yeah, she did, because she's a hero, man. And yeah, she shouldn't have been messing around with the mob and Kingpin if she wanted to spend the holidays in solace. So a job well done for Kate. I love her first outing. I cannot wait to see her make the transition onto the big screen. It'll just be so epic to see her team up with any of the other superheroes. It'll just be so cool to see her cross over onto the big screen. I wonder where she's going to pop up next. That's just up in the air as well. But I do like how they end things with her going and spending Christmas with Clint's family. She kind of found like her little surrogate family here, and I thought it was a really nice ending to a holiday treats. This is a holiday product. This is a holiday show, holiday themed, so I had to have a nice heartwarming ending to it. So with all that being said, the entire series, I'm going to be rating the entire series. The entire series has to get a 4.5 out of 5 Skarsgård. It's close to 5, but there was some things here and there that just didn't settle well with me. But regardless, this overall is a great and fun time, very entertaining. I enjoyed my time with Hawkeye, and I cannot wait to see where these characters go in the future. So that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for reaching to the end of it. What did you think of Hawkeye? Did you like the finale? Did you like the series as a whole? Did you not? Let me know down below. And as always, please like, share, and subscribe to support this little side hobby I am doing. Rendered image every Thursday and Sunday night, 8:30 p.m. live on YouTube. Link to that channel will be down below in the description. I hope you're all safe and well out there, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.